Hey everybody, I didn't notice you there. Welcome to another episode of Live from JP's Couch. Today what we're going to be going over is how to improve your guitar soloing. What do you need to make your improvisational skills reach their maximum potential? And what are the things that you are not doing that you could be doing that would make a huge difference in your overall playing? So I have rated this video as intermediate because there are two things that you're going to need to make the most out of this video. The first one being, you need to have a basic understanding of theory in terms of roots, thirds, fifths, things like that, as well as a basic understanding of the fretboard, meaning knowing where the notes are. That is one of the first things that I try to teach my students is we need to learn the notes, right? So the chords that we're going to be working with today are going to be fairly common chords that are in a lot of songs. G major. G major has 3 notes in it. Well, wait, GP, you just played 6 notes. Right. So the notes that are in G major are going to be G is the root, B is the third, and D is the fifth. We use the alphabet. G, A, B, C, D. All right, cool. Let's go through them. G, D, G, B, D, and G. Okay, so you have 3 G's, 2 D's, and 1 B. Then our C major chord. 3 notes, C, D, E, F, G. C, E, and G. So knowing those chord tones and knowing where they are on the guitar is just the first step. So what I'm going to do for you to start off is I'm going to play the progression and I'm going to use only the chord tones to play a solo. So let's see what happens. All right, that was okay, right? Kind of get the idea. You know, you hear somebody play that solo and you're like, okay, they know what they're doing. It was kind of vanilla, a little bit bland. Let's say that you're where I was just then. You are able to solo using those chord tones and make it sound somewhat interesting, right? Excuse me, sir. Yes, thank you. I love you. So now let's go ahead and add the pentatonic scale. Okay, so penta, 5 notes. So now we are moving from 3 to 5. So what are the 5 notes that are in the G major pentatonic scale? G, A, B, D, E, G. Now, those are all notes that are in the key of G major. G major has 1 sharp in it, F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now let's go through the C major pentatonic scale. C, D, E, G, A, C. Okay, so what are we adding? So, well, in the G major pentatonic scale, we're adding an A and we're adding an E. In the C major pentatonic scale, we're adding a D and we're adding an A. All right, so now if we wanted to play through those scales really quick, you can do that now. What I want you to try to do is play them in one spot, right? In one area, so that you can move between them more fluidly. The way to do that would be to play a G major pentatonic here on G. Play a C major pentatonic also here. So if you're playing over this G chord and you're playing the G major pentatonic, it's going to sound good. If you're playing over the C chord and you play your C major pentatonic, it's going to sound good. So let me try that really quick. So I'm going to be playing the chord tones as well as the extra notes that we just learned from the major pentatonic scale for both chords. Sounded a little bit better, right? A lot better, as a matter of fact. So if I was going to be soloing over that chord progression, I would probably do something along those lines. Okay, so now, what songs have that chord progression in them, okay? Well, let's try this one. I know this one does. Feeling alright, not feeling good myself. Oh, feeling alright, not feeling good myself. Feeling alright, alright. Now, we've established that utilizing chord tones and utilizing the major pentatonic scales, following the chord progression is very helpful when you're playing a solo. It's going to make you sound like you know what you're doing and make you a little bit more confident. This next chord progression is very common. We are going to be using G major, D major, E minor, and C major. That is called a 1-5-6-4 progression, just based off of the notes in the G major scale. G is 1, D is 5, E is 6, and C is 4. So let me think if I know any songs that use that chord progression. Let's see if I can figure something out. Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. Tried to be you, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the crack. Now I'm trying to get back. I'm gonna need some whiskey glasses if I'm gonna see the truth. She's probably begging out on the couch right now with someone new. Rolling down the backwoods Tennessee byway. One arm on the wheel. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. Alright, so anyway, you get the idea. Now, let's try to solo over that chord progression using just the chord tones. See what happens. Okay, so there might have been some notes in there that weren't quite chord tones, but we're going to forget about that. No harm, no foul. But that being said, I'd say 90% of those notes were chord tones. And that solo was, sure, decent. Good job. You sound like you know what you're doing. You pass, right? Now, we want to make it special. So now we have to go through and find the pentatonic scale for each one of those chords, preferably in the same area of the guitar. The first one is going to be G major. Let's start on the 5th fret. Next chord is going to be D major. Next chord is going to be E minor, which just so happens to be the exact same pentatonic scale as G major. Why? Relative major and minor. That's another thing that you will need to know by now as an intermediate level guitar player. Here we go, E minor. Same exact thing. C major. Okay, so every note that I just played is part of the G major scale, right? Now, the trick is gonna be switching, right? Now, how do you know when to switch? You have to be able to hear when the chords change. Most people can already do that intuitively. Even if they don't know they're doing it, you can hear it, you can feel it. Oh, here comes another chord. Oh, here comes another chord. There's a shift, a very viable shift in the overall sound of the song. I think Osiris is destroying everything that I own, which is normal for him. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to play the solo again with the pentatonic scales as well as the chord tones which is still going to be the pentatonic scales because they all include the chord tones, correct? Yes. Excellent. We're getting somewhere. Here we go. Now, to wrap things up today, what you've experienced was kind of a info dump, as you will, of knowledge. You will have to process that. It's going to take you a minute. This is not something that you're going to magically learn how to do overnight. Again, it's an intermediate level video, which means there are some things that you're going to have in your toolbox to be able to utilize these things. Yes. Memorize your thirds. Thirds are your friend. Thirds are the new way that you count the alphabet. No longer A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It is A, C, E, G, B, D, F, right? That's how you're going to count things from now on. Music is built in thirds. We should talk in thirds, okay? The other thing is learn the notes on the fretboard. Very, very important. We have a double dot here on the 12th fret for a reason, because these strings that we all know that we tune with are the exact same note here, higher octave, which means that you have a big guitar and a little guitar. Pretty cool. All right. Well, I guess that concludes the video. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, just drop a comment. Also, please tell your friends to subscribe and like. I do want to give an absolute shout out to Pippin Music Academy, Mr. David Pippin, who has been my best friend and mentor throughout my life as far as music goes and a lot of other aspects of life as well. But definitely I would definitely not be playing guitar if it wasn't for him. So shout out to David, as well as the school. We teach music lessons here in Carrollton. Look us up on Google. Pippin, Pippin, Music Academy. My name is John Paul Berry, and yes, please, if anybody's looking for lessons or anything pertaining to that, we have a full recording studio as well as a repair shop for instruments. So please give us a call, and we'd be happy to get you in the schedule. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for sticking it out for episode 2 of Live from JP's Couch.